The Chicago Bulls are off to one of the best starts in the NBA. After making a splash in free agency by adding Lonzo Ball and Demar Derozan, and by trading for Vucevic at last year's trade deadline, it was expected that the Bulls were going to improve. While the Bulls looked good on paper, mainstream media was hesitant to call the Bulls a contender, or even a top seed in the East. ESPN had the Bulls winning just 40 games and finishing as the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. But while major sports media wasn't sold on the Bulls, they're off to an excellent start. After defeating the Mavs, the Bulls are now 8-3, which ties them for first in the East. Now it's still early, but with the way Chicago is playing on both ends of the floor, the Bulls and their fans have every reason to be optimistic about the team's hot start. On the season, the Bulls rank 5th in offensive efficiency, a nice leap from last year when they ranked 20th in offensive efficiency. With the new offensive talent that the Bulls added over the offseason, it's not a surprise that the Bulls went from bad to excellent on the offensive end. So far, Demar Derozan has been a godsend for the Bulls offense. Through 9 games, he's playing at an MVP caliber level. He's currently averaging 26.6 boards and 4 assists per game on a 58% true shooting percentage. Ironically, Bleacher Report ranked DeRozan as the worst signing of 2021 NBA free agency, but DeRozan is making them look like fools with his excellent play on the court. DeRozan went under the radar in San Antonio, but make no mistake, he played at an all-star level in his 3 years with the Spurs and turned himself into a pretty good playmaker while playing there. Now on the Bulls, he's currently having a career season. DeRozan is an excellent slasher just as he's always been his entire career. He gets by his defenders at will and he's an excellent finisher, whether that's absorbing contact and still finishing at the rim or using his crafty footwork to get by help defenders for a smooth layup. And he's drawing a lot of contact on his drives. He's currently averaging 7 free throw attempts per game, good for 5th in the league, and he's hitting his free throws at an outstanding 85%. DeRozan is also good from mid-range, where he's excellent at creating space off the bounce to get his pull-up off. On the season, DeRozan is shooting 54% from 10 to 14 feet, which is Kevin Durant level efficiency. One area of his game that looks like it has gotten better is his 3-point shooting. DeRozan has struggled from outside his entire career, but this year he's shooting 35% from 3. And he's also the Bulls' main closer in the 4th quarter. In fact, DeRozan is one of the best closers in the entire NBA so far this season, currently averaging the 2nd most 4th quarter points per game behind Malcolm Brogdon. LaVine is truly the Bulls' best player, but so far, DeRozan has been the one that has stood out the most so far early in the season. Speaking of Zach LaVine, LaVine has also played extremely well for the Bulls this year. He's currently averaging 26 points, 5 boards, and 4 assists per game on a very efficient 60% true shooting percentage. Like DeRozan, LaVine is one of the best slashers in the NBA. He's super quick and has a slick handle, so he gets to the rim at will, and he's an amazing finisher once he gets in the paint. On the season, LaVine is shooting 68% within 5 feet of the basket, an outstanding percentage for a guard. His nice touch around the rim and ability to elevate high over defenders makes him a great finisher, and it isn't uncommon for LaVine to make a monster dunk in traffic. He also draws a lot of contact, and he's been absurdly good from the free throw line this year. On the season, LaVine is currently shooting 90% from the free throw line, an insanely good percentage. And LaVine isn't just an inside player because he's got a deadly jumper as well. LaVine is excellent at creating space for his pull-up jumper, and he's deadly shooting off the catch as well. On the season, LaVine is shooting just 34% from 3, and considering he shot 41% from 3 last year, I would expect that number to eventually go up. LaVine is currently dealing with a thumb injury right now, but as he starts to feel better, I'm sure LaVine's shooting numbers will only increase. Together, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are the highest scoring duo in the entire NBA. While DeMar DeRozan and LaVine have been a devastating 1-2 punch for the Bulls, Lonzo Ball has also really fit nice alongside them. Lonzo may never be the star he was drafted to be for the Lakers, but he doesn't need to be an all-star for the Bulls. Zoe fits perfectly next to the Bulls' star players on offense, largely thanks to his ability to knock down threes. Lonzo is currently averaging 12 points and 4 assists per game, and he's knocking down 45% of his threes on a high volume 7 attempts a game. Playing next to so many dynamic offensive players allows Lonzo to get open from 3 often, and he's been doing a great job of feasting on the open looks. Lonzo balls 21 points against the Mavs, where he hit 7 of 10 from deep, shows how deadly he can be as a sniper in the Bulls offense. But Lonzo isn't just a 3-and-D player because he can also impact winning basketball with his passing. Lonzo is a high basketball IQ player, and he's great at finding his teammates and setting them up for easy baskets. In transition, Lonzo loves to push the ball and drop dimes to his teammates for fast break buckets. Overall, Lonzo has been a huge part of the Bulls' early success. We can't forget about the third member of the Bulls' Big Three, Nikola Vucevic. His numbers are down from previous seasons, currently averaging just 14 points, 11 boards, and 4 assists per game. And he's shooting just 39% from the field and 27% from 3, which is pretty bad. To be fair to Vucevic, he's adjusting to his new role as the third option in the Bulls offense, and since he was the number 1 option for most of his career, this isn't an easy transition. But on the bright side, the Bulls are off to an excellent start, even with Vucevic shooting the ball poorly. At his best, Vuce is one of the better shooting and scoring bigs in the league, and he's also an excellent passer. Once his shooting starts to pick up, I'm sure this will make the Bulls' offense even deadlier. But while the Bulls' offense has looked great, their defense may be the biggest reason why they're winning so many games. On the season, the Bulls rank 6th in defensive efficiency. That's a really impressive ranking for a Chicago Bulls team that lost Patrick Williams for the year. Williams was the Bulls' best wing defender last year, as he was the guy who was usually tasked with guarding the other team's best player. But thanks to Billy Donovan's excellent coaching and the Bulls players buying in, the Bulls have been a scrappy defensive unit. Even dating back to last year, Billy Donovan did a good job with the defense. The Bulls ranked 13th in defensive efficiency last season, so it makes sense that the defense remains very good. Probably the Bulls' biggest strength on defense is their ability to force turnovers. The Bulls currently rank 7th in opponents' turnovers per game, forcing teams to cough it up about 17 times a game. And they're one of the best teams at converting turnovers into instant offense, as the Bulls rank 2nd in the league in points off turnovers. LaVine and DeRozan in particular feast off opponents' turnovers. They look to push the ball when opponents make mistakes, and it leads to plenty of fast break dunks. Lonzo Ball has really helped to improve the Bulls' defense. He's an excellent on-ball defender. At 6'6" with a long 6'9" wingspan, he's able to use that excellent size and length to disrupt opposing ball handlers. But he's also a great off-ball defender where he's constantly deflecting passes and getting steals. Overall, he's been great for Chicago on defense. Another huge part of the Bulls' defense has been Alex Caruso. Caruso was one of the more underrated pickups from last year, and he's been great for Chicago off the bench. Caruso damn near had a cult following when he played for the Lakers, and with the way he's playing for the Bulls, we can see why. Caruso plays with a ton of energy and hustle on defense. He's great as an on-ball defender and great as an off-ball defender, constantly getting into the passing lanes and getting steals and deflections. On the season, Caruso is leading the entire NBA in steals per game, and he also ranks 2nd in the league in deflections per game. Caruso may only average 8 points per game, but his impact goes way beyond the numbers. His elite defense really contributes to winning basketball. Javonte Green also deserves a shout out because he's also contributed to the Bulls' top 10 ranked defense. He's a great defender that can guard multiple positions. Green may only be 6'5", but he plays much bigger than his height. The Bulls often will put him on bigger players, knowing that he can more than hold his own thanks to his strength and energy. Javonte Green's intensity on defense has really helped to make up for the loss of Patrick Williams. Overall, this Bulls team looks very good. The scary thing about Chicago is that they're not even at full strength yet. Kobe White still hasn't returned from injury yet. Last time we saw White, he was averaging a solid 15 points per game. He could get hot from deep at any minute, and once he returns, he's going to make the Bulls' second unit even better. It's still early, but if the Bulls can maintain their rating as a top 10 offense and defense, I could really buy them as a legit title contender. But anyway guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Do you think the Bulls will maintain their hot start? Do you see them as legit championship contenders? Tell me in the comments. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more dope content like this. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.